Hello friends, welcome to my channel Boosting Tech. Now I am going to say you about code operations in ASP.NET. Now let us look at overall view of code operations. I am filling the details. Insert. See, the values are inserted. I want to update the values. So updated. Now let us look at detailed view of code operations. Now open a Visual Studio. File, New, Project. Web, ASP.NET Web Application. Name, giving code operation. OK. Empty, web form. OK. Right click on project, add web form, name it as web form 1. OK. Now create a table. Rows, columns, make the table align equals to center. We will create another 4 to 5 rows. Same copy paste of it. Go to toolbox and type label. Drag and drop the label in the first row, first column, and copy the label and copy it in second row, first column. Same in the columns, we have to type the labels. Rename the labels. I'm giving the first label name is employee ID, second label name is employee name, third name is salary, and again department. And then again we will go to toolbar and type text box and drag and drop the text box. So whatever the data to be filled, that should be written in the text box. Same copy paste to the remaining columns. let us check the design. See, 4 rows is completed, and we will create the buttons like insert, update and delete. For that we should create row and column. And go to toolbar and type button and drag and drop the button. Copy the button three times and change the text. Insert, update and delete. And we will create a now grid view. Go to toolbar, drag and drop the grid view. Type columns. So whatever the data is to be filled, that should be filled in the columns. So now type ASP bound field. Now data field. Give the data field name as same employee ID. Now header text. Header text is text of the column. Same copy and paste to 4 rows because we have only 4 rows. Rename it as employee name, salary, department and department. Now let us look at the design. To degenerate the auto-generated columns, we have to type auto-generated column equals to false. And select on selected index change, that is an event that will display select button in the grid view. And auto generated selected button equals to true, so that the select button will be visible in grid view. See, it is visible there. So we will align equals to center the grid view. After completion of the design, we will go to SQL Server Management Studio. We will create a database first. For that, we will write a command, create database. The database name is, let us say, operation. Now we have to use the database operation. Type use operation. Execute the command. Now the database is in operation. Now we will create a table. Create table. Table name is employee. Open bracket. We will give employee ID int primary key, comma employee name varchar, and salary and department are remaining. So salary int, department varchar. So close the bracket. Now execute it. Now let us look at the whatever the rows are there in the table. For that, select star from table. Execute it. So these are the rows we just created in the table. These are the columns we just created in the table. Now create the store procedure. For that, create procedure name. The procedure name is details. Now we will give an action equals to varchar. That action is like performing actions such as insert, update and select, delete operations. So action varchar 50. Now we will give each and every parameter name, that is @employee int, empid int, @employee name varchar, @salary int, and @department varchar. As begin, if action equals to insert, that means if action equals to insert, we will insert the columns that we typed in the text box value. If action equals to insert, we will write the insert query. Insert into table values. So insert into employee, column name such as employee ID, employee name, salary, department, and values. We just copy paste the columns and give @ before of it. And again we will write the action equals to update query we will write. If action equals to update, begin, update table set values, salary equals to @salary and department equals to @department. We have to update according to employee ID, where employee ID equals to @employee ID and end. If @action equals to delete, now we have to delete the row. For that we should write the delete query. Delete from table, where empid equals to @empid. And again we will write select statement. If action equals to select, we will write the select query. Select employee name, department, salary from table, after completion of the stored procedure, we will execute the stored procedure. Execute. Command is successfully completed, and we will write again another stored procedure. The stored procedure is for grid view. So whatever the data is filled in the table, that should be appear in the grid view. For that we will write another stored procedure. So create procedure name is select all as begin. Now we will write select query for the table in the stored procedure. So select star from employee end. So command successfully completed. Now double click on the insert code, insert button. Now we have to write the two namespaces, that is using system.data and another one is using system.data.sql client. We have to give the connection. So SQL connection con equals to new SQL connection we have to go to SQL Server Management, connect database engine and type and copy the server name. Open Server Explorer, connect to database and copy the server name. Select the database. Our database is operation. Test connection. Okay. Now see the database is connected. Right click, properties. Now copy the connection string. Paste in it. Make sure that type another backslash, that will show a red mark. So we will write is postback and while executing we will disable the delete button. So button for delete, the button ID is button 3 dot enable equals to false and insert we will write code, that is SQL command cmd equals to new SQL command. This is a command between the Visual Studio and SQL. In command we should write the stored procedure name. So what all the stored procedure is there, that will read in it by typing SQL command cmd. SQL command That command name is, I typed cmd. So store procedure name is details. So details comma connection. Now give command type. That command type is store procedure. We have to give that. So cmd dot command type dot store procedure. Now cmd dot parameters, we have to give the parameters. That means whatever the value we type in the text box, the text box value will be stored in the SQL table. So cmd dot parameters dot add with value. So this is an insert button. So we will type action equals to insert. Just now we written in the SQL that insert statement. So action insert. Now cmd dot parameter dot add with values, the text box values. In employee ID, at the rate employee ID, in the text box we have to fill that value. So that is text box 1 dot text. And copy and paste to four rows and change the names. At the rate employee name, salary and department, and change the text box value names, text box ID name, that is text box 2, text box 3, text box 4. Now open the connection, con.open, that is opening the connection. After opening the connection, we have to execute that query. For that, command dot execute query. Now close the connection. Now the insert statement is completed. Whatever the values we type in the text box, that values are inserted when we execute it. Now after executing the insert statement, that insert value should be appear in the grid view. Further, we will write a method void grid view. We have to check whether the connection is open or closed. So for that, con dot state equals to connection state dot closed. Now we have to open the connection by writing con dot open. Now SQL data adapter DA equals to new SQL data adapter. So the inserted value will be updated in the grid view, and we wrote another store procedure in SQL command by select all. That select all is this select all is for whatever the statements are there in the table, that is select star from employee table. So whatever the values are inserted, that will be updated in the grid view by select all store procedure. So connection. Now we have to give that command. That command name is store procedure. So DA, that is data adapter method name. DA dot select command equal dot command type equals to command type dot store procedure. Now that value should be written in the table. For that we will create a data table dt equals to new data table. Now the values will be stored in the table. For that we will write fill method, da.fill. So what are the errors? It will be filled. Now the filled values must be bind. So gridview 1 dot data source equals to dt, that data source, the values which should be bind now. Now the grid view method, type in the insert statement. So after completion of the inserting value, it will be updated in the grid view table. Now double click on the update. Same, copy and paste the whole code in insert. Copy pasting insert code in update. We have to change action method equals to update. In store procedure we wrote update query, that is update table name set values. That values will be updated. See, update employee set employee name values where employee equals to employee ID. The values will be updated here. Now we'll write the double click on delete. Same copy paste the code and make change action is delete. So in show browser we wrote the delete query. Now all the operations are completed. So after filling the all operations, the select statement. So in select event, whatever if we click the select button in the grid view, the values of the grid view must be filled in the text box. For that we will write text box id text box 1 dot text equals to grid view. The grid view value should be appeared in text box. So grid view 1 dot selected row, the row values dot cells, that is columns. First column dot text. So copy paste up to till 4 rows. So see, that is, so here the grid view values should be appeared in the text boxes. So employee ID, employee name, employee name, employee ID, these are the rows, and below it are columns. For columns we wrote cells. So copy paste it. So text box 2 and column should be 2, text box 3 and column should be 3, text box 4 and the column should be 4. Now after selecting the button, the delete button should be enabled because maybe we want to delete that values. So button 3 dot enabled equals to true. So whatever the values are there in the text box, after clicking the button also the values are remain there itself. So for that we should clear the values. We will write a method for that. So we will write void clear to clear the text box values after clicking the button. So for the text box ID, that is text box 1.text equals to text box 2.text equals to text box 3.text equals to text box 4.text equals to, we will give empty space. That means after clicking the values, the text box must be space. That means nothing should be there in it. Now after writing the clear method, type clear in each and every button, that is insert, update, delete. After typing the button insert, the values will be disappeared in the text boxes. So this is our code. So we are checking the code again. So insert, update and delete. Now let us look the execution of part of it. The web form is successfully displayed and I am writing the values, that is employee ID equals to 1, name I am typing Prashant Kumar, salary 2 lakhs and department is .NET. So insert. See, the values are successfully inserted. We will type a select button. So the values are displayed in the text boxes. We will update now. Update. See, the value is updated successfully. Now we will delete. Before delete, we will insert some more values. Now we will insert another value. Insert it. So after completion of the insert, now we will perform a delete operation. See, the third employee ID is deleted. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Boosting Tech. Thank you.